Hello repair enthusiasts, welcome to my channel, where we are not only fixing things, but also learn something new. Today we dive into interesting chaotic topic, how to repair gaming headsets. As you can see from my drawings, I have a bunch of gaming headsets lying around, but they eventually look like a bird nest or something like that. Here, deleting several parts of the headsets, I want to emphasize and show you exactly that some of the headsets are exactly missing some stuff. Ugh, right? But anyway, somebody has to deal with this stuff, and eventually it's me. Anyway, I want to find at least one good headset and add all the rest components, whether from the things I already have or whether things I have to buy. Basically, I have a 3-point strategy. First, find the good headsets. Secondly, assess its damage, and then repair it. Simple as that. And if you appreciate what I'm doing here, just simply subscribe or give me some thumbs up. So I already show you a glimpse of this view where I'm struggling with the tangled mess I have here. The job is not easy, I'm telling you this, but I'm trying to find at least some useful or not broken or completely damaged broken headsets to fix. So skipping ahead, I found these three, the blue ones and red and the other one, which are in acceptable state, that I could use these ones to at least repair or fix it. I like these red ones better, but unfortunately I don't have the cushions for this one. As you can see, they are completely damaged. So I had these cushions, I ordered before, as it seems that these didn't fit, so I can use it for these blue ones, the Fury headsets, I guess it's called. So yeah, I guess I found them. The first step is done. I found these Fury headsets to repair, and now I have to assess the damage. So I see the one side of the headsets is totally ripped apart, so the cushions are fine, but I will replace them anyway. So I found the part, it was in a bag, so then I have to check whether the speakers actually work or they don't. So that would be also my next step to check whether these headsets are usable or not. But until then, I'll take them apart completely to make sure everything is in order internally. I also check the microphone part, it seems okay. Overall, they appear to be in a pretty good shape. No visible liquid damage, corrosions, scratches, membrane damage, or other kind of damage that could be visible inside the headsets. Also, the plastic mechanics are not broken or cracked in any ways, so that's good. However, it looks like the 4 screws that holds the one part which I'm holding in my hand at the moment together, they are somehow missing, and it's not cool, so I have to find these. They are pretty thin, so I will have to look up for those. Otherwise, it seems that this headset is really in a good shape, and I can really work with this material, so to speak. Yeah. One of the things to pay attention is the internal wires, both for the microphone and also for the second speaker, because they are often damaged and needs to be replaced. Not for these blue ones, because they are in good shape internally. The wires are okay, they are not bent or damaged or stretched in any way, so that's good. So here I'm still on the second step to see whether the membranes or the speakers are working correctly. So I soldered the wire from my phone to the membrane in order to listen whether the sound is coming out from my phone output. So yeah, and that's what I'm doing here. I prefer to solder the wires because then all the interference which appears in the speaker is coming from the speaker itself, not from the bad connected wires or so on. So that's why I choose to solder the wires, not to just hold them close to the contacts. So yeah, I will play one of my previous videos where some kind of music is playing in a video, so hopefully you can hear, but I can assure you that the speaker is working fine. So hopefully you hear that the sound vibrations are created in the acoustic system itself, not by me. Now it remains to test the second speaker, and actually I choose to do this through the existing cable or existing wire within the headset itself, which are originally there, because in order to test whether this cable works or it doesn't. Yeah, as you can see, I'm cleaning the wires, and I'm using my lighter to just remove the isolation from the thin wires, but be careful because otherwise you can heat it up and damage the wires. Also, as you can hear, the speaker is working good. That's great. Now I have to just choose the right wire for this acoustic system, and I think the step 2 is done. Now I have to just repair it, basically add the wire, because eventually both speakers are working fine. The microphone I will test later, but I know it works fine, and eventually that's it. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into the theory, because I need to choose the right cable for this headset. So but to do that, first I need to understand what these headsets are meant for. More precisely, what device it will be attached to. I have a separate video about this topic. Be sure to watch it afterwards, because there I cover this in more details. I just realized that I ordered relatively identical cables, namely cables with the same type of connector, designed for more modern systems, where the audio outputs and the microphone inputs are combined into one connector. So let me explain in details. So I will try to make a quick sketch for you using my Onyx notebook. The main problem is that the older audio systems on the desktop computers, the microphone and the speakers were separated from each other, as I mentioned before. So the connection was made by two TRS 3.5mm audio jacks. However, alternatively, in modern systems, which will soon be history because of the Bluetooth, of course, a single TRS audio jack was used. If I want to use this headsets with a desktop computer, I need the older version with the two TRS connectors. But unfortunately, I don't have these because I ordered these TRS versions. But actually, that's not a big problem, because I can order an audio splitter where can I convert from TRS to TRS double audio connector, so that's not a problem. Alternatively, I can examine the rest of the cables and the headsets. Maybe some of the cables will with the double TRS connectors are still usable. However, one of the common issues with the headsets are damaged cables, so that's why I decided to use a new cable to repair these headsets I choose to repair. So as you can see, this is the cable I choose to use for this project. I pre-ordered from China. I have a similar laying around, so it has one TRS connector, and other end is just wires. To be absolutely sure which wire goes to which pin on the connector, I will use my multimeter to determine this. As I couldn't find this in online, so, this will also eliminate any errors that could occur if I will just simply trust the source from some online website. Also, I don't trust the AliExpress site, so it's just basically I will test it and make everything down, and you can do the same. If you have, you will be double sure that this wire corresponds to this pin, and there will be no question about it. The methodology is very simple. I turn the multimeter in the continuity mode, connect one test lead to the corresponding pin, and the other test lead I search or probe the wires till it starts to beep. And basically I just write down the color of each pin, and that's how I basically determine which pin corresponds to which wire. About the next step, if you watch my previous video about the connection to connector types, and then you will understand that I have to figure out which one of the types I'll use, and it will be the CTEA, because eventually it has more support. But if you want to know this in details, please watch my other video about this specific topic, where I dive into the discuss the details about why it's better than the other one. And here basically you can see that I will quickly draw the circuit of this CTI connection type, which pin corresponds to which type of the headset's part, for example speaker, microphone, and so on. And then we have to just solder the wire. And first there's a long preparation phase where I prepare the wires, strip and solder the connectors and the wire ends, so that it will be easier to work with, and this step is essential actually. You need to pay attention while you're stripping the wires, to be very careful, otherwise you will damage the wires in the first place, and then afterwards it will be very hard to understand why it doesn't work, for example the speaker or the microphone, if you damage the wires in the first place, as I said. So, and also with the lighters also you should be very careful. It's very hot, and it could melt the isolation layer away instantly. So yeah, keep that in mind while repairing the wires. In order to hold the wires in place, I love to use hot glue. It's easier to work afterwards when the wire is secured. Also, I use the soldering diagram, which I drew before, to determine which wire goes where. The graphical aids are very, very handy in this situation, because you can see graphically and by the colors which wire goes where, and this very helps me a lot. But if you can remember it, you probably are genius and you don't need that stuff. I do, so yeah, this is my way how I repair the headsets and make everything sure that I do it correctly and in the first try, so that I don't have to come back and repair it again. Also, as you can see, I use shrinking tubes to make sure that the wires aren't touching together after the soldering, and I just use my soldering iron to just squeeze or shrink tubes. I don't use the lighters in this step, because I am afraid to melt the solder inside the shrinking tube, so that's why I use the soldering iron. And eventually this completes my tutorial how I repair gaming headsets, and I think I included most of the steps you need to repair yours, if you have any. Yeah, it requires pre-order some stuff, and to make sure that you know what you're doing, and you have to be able to use soldering iron and so on. But basically, I would say this is pretty simple job. Anybody can do that. It's not so hard actually, and after this there is a long step where I try to figure it out which wire goes where, and I'm just carefully putting stuff together, and this is, I guess, the most, I would not say complex, but the most like boring part of this video, where I just simply try to understand which wire goes where, and did I do it correctly. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching. I will leave you at this place so you can end the video to see did I success in the repair or I didn't. And yeah, give me thumbs up, subscribe, I don't know what else. Have a happy day after all, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.
right, right, left, right.
Hello everybody, how are you doing today? This is the sound from the microphone I just installed. Hopefully it's good. Nevertheless,